Live coverage of XpoNorth as it happens.
This is XpoNorth Live.
And now a chance to meet a self-published author based in the Highlands. You've heard of Scandi Noir, now meet Tartan Noir. Please welcome to XpoNorth, Lorraine Thomson.
Hello, Siobhan.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Now, I'd heard that way back when you started off writing, you won a prize, you won an award. How did that change things for you?
Well, it happened just when I decided I was going to start writing. I saw this competition advertised. I entered, won the first prize, was flown down to London, Café Royal, glossy magazines. It was fantastic. In the local press, the local postie would say, oh, there's that author. And I thought, oh, that was it. And then I started collecting rejection letters. So I just went through the whole, I started in the high and then just went through the hamster wheel. Yeah.
Because usually you think that, that sort of high point, that sort of award is your imprimatur of success, that,
yes.
You're on your way.
So I thought, but no, it wasn't to be. But I kept writing. I got rejection letters. A lot of them were not the standard form. I got a lot of encouragement and a lot of suggestions about how I could improve. But I was quite young and arrogant, and I thought, what do they know about? So I kind of blew it for myself. But the third book that I wrote got shortlisted for the Dundee Book Prize. So that was another boost. After that, I took a break from writing for a few years. I started a family. And when I came back, I was ready to listen and pay attention to what people said to me. I'd sort of grown up a bit and had time to think about it. So that's when things started changing.
I'm interested as well, did you play around with different genres, or did you always know what kind of writing you wanted to do?
The original stuff was kind of stream of consciousness. It was like rock and roll and, late nights and cold dawns and all that kind of stuff. I was just writing about the things that I was seeing round about. But during that period of thinking about it before I came back, and I realised that what I enjoyed reading, the films that I enjoyed watching, were lots of things happening. And that's what I wanted to write. I wanted excitement. I wanted sort of that, the tension. I enjoy tension.
Does writing come easy to you now?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one. Sort of, yeah, I enjoy it, but it's a challenge. It's just something that I'm going to do. I'm not going to not do it. To say it's easy, working out the ideas and things, I'm coming at it from different approaches now. I wouldn't say easy, but I enjoy it.
And what about the decision to self-publish?
Yeah, I was going through all the frustrations of getting the rejection letters and so on, because that's what I'd sort of grown up sort of thinking, this is what you did. You sent your letters out. Well, initially it was publishers, and then it became you had to get an agent before you could get the publisher. And then I get involved with, well, it was High Arts, which became Emergence, and I got a lot of help through them. And Pete Urpeth, who you had on earlier, he actually acted as my agent for a while. So he started getting the rejection letters for me. And one of them came in, and Pete's over there, and they said, well, we really like this, but we've already taken on a Scottish author this year. I thought, oh, Scottish is a quota, who knew? So I think that was one of the turning points, and from there I thought, no, this is, but this time I was starting to hear this indie thing, indie. And the word indie to me was like going back to sort of punk rock and garage bands and doing it for yourself, and you don't need anybody else telling you what to do. And that's when I took the plunge from that point, really.
Interesting. Have you thought where you might go from here?
I've actually signed a publishing deal earlier this year, but I can't talk about it.
Okay.
So it's exciting. So I know that I've got other things happening, but they're running parallel with the indie. I've got another book coming out this year. So I'm doing the L.G. Thomson stuff, and then I'm doing something else over here as well. So it's really exciting. That thing over here that I can't talk about wouldn't have happened if I wasn't doing the other stuff.
Okay. Well, let's put a bookmark here and bring into the chat two of our other guests. We've got Ben Galley, who's an independent author and a publishing consultant, and also Ricardo Fayet, who's the founder of innovative publishing platform Reedsy. Now, I think we should come to you first. How does Reedsy work, Ricardo?
So Reedsy was founded a couple of years ago, and our idea was to bring to independent authors the kind of publishing talent that had been available for years to traditional publishers. So in the editing, developmental editing, proofreading, and the design field as well, and the publicity and marketing, and now even the ghostwriting fields, kind of top professionals who'd been working for traditional publishing companies for years and who now work freelance, make them available to independent authors so that they can self-publish to the same standard of quality as traditional publishers.
Right. So, I mean, how does this help sort of local authors, would you say?
Hmm?
How would this help local authors, Rizzi, hearing what Lorraine's talking about here and her experiences?
It helps local authors because we provide guidance on the self-publishing process, and we help them find partners who can be local partners or who can be partners who are abroad, fine-tune their work in order to get to a point where they can actually self-publish and make some money out of the book. Because if you don't hire an editor, I think I'm sure Ben will tell you that, if you don't hire an editor or a designer, probably it's going to be very hard to sell your book.
Well, exactly. Ben, as an indie author, tell us your experience.
Well, I mean, from my experience of Readsy, I think it's a great platform. You know, my self-publishing journey has been quite varied overall. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. I've done audiobooks, graphic novels, as well as 2 series. So yeah, 10 books overall, and a French translation as well. Can't forget about that. Yeah, Readsy has really helped on a number of those different projects, actually finding the right professional that I need and that any author needs. The trick with self-publishing these days is you need to be able to hold up your book next to, you know, the best of the best traditional books, and if you can see a difference, you haven't done it right. So it needs to be indistinguishable, and that is the key to success. So the key to obviously getting to that level are professionals, and so obviously you can find all the best professionals at Readsy.
So the French translation, for example, was that something you were able to use from Readsy? That
was actually one of the projects I didn't use Readsy for. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. But what sort of thing did you use Readsy for?
Let's think. So the first time I used Readsy was for a graphic novel, and I needed a technical formatter to actually help me get it into the file formats. Graphic novels being a bit difficult and a bit different from your average text novel. So I had to find a specialist, found it on Readsy. And then recently I've been using Readsy to find a new cover designer for my new book, my new project. And I've also used it for another different type of formatting as well for another project that I've done. So yeah, really useful.
Lorraine, listening to this, is it something that you would be interested in? Would you be interested in using Readsy?
Yeah, I'm interested in what I'm hearing now. I have looked on before. I've got a lot of help from Emergence with things, their work in progress scheme, where somebody reads your book and gives you feedback. It's anonymous. And that's been really, really useful. But yeah, I'm interested, and especially the graphic novel thing, that's something I'm interested in doing myself. So yeah, we'll have a chat about that later, I think.
That's one of the beauties of it, self-publishing. You know, like you said, there is no one holding you back, no one telling you what you can do, and that's why
I think that whole self-publishing doesn't necessarily mean you're doing everything yourself.
No, not
you know,
at all.
you bring in other people, and you've got that choice and control.
That's why I always recommend for anyone self-publishing that you act as a project manager rather than thinking that as a self-publisher you have to do it all by yourself. It's a little bit of a misnomer, whichever way you publish.
Oh, I'm loving this conversation, particularly since we're thinking of getting 10% off it as your agent. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.